Maternity author Megan Foy says, and I quote, "I want all the perks of maternity leave without having any kids." That's right. In a column last week for the New York Post and in her new novel, Foy says that women without children are fully entitled to what she calls me-ternity. But what's the right angle? I'm Steve Green with Scott Ott and Bill Whittle, and maybe three men shouldn't be discussing a women's issue like this one. But my wife, the mother of our two sons, already told me what to think. Except, boy, did I get an earful from Melissa when I told her about me-ternity and all this stuff. Gents, Foy says, all women deserve, and this is a quote, a sabbatical-like break that allows women, and to a lesser degree men, to shift their focus to the part of their lives that doesn't revolve around their jobs. And she describes maternity leave, that's the traditional maternity kind, as that socially mandated time and space for self-reflection. Doesn't that sound nice? Scott, since Foy was willing to admit that men might need some socially mandated time and space for self-reflection, even if only to a lesser extent, I guess that does give us the right to comment on this. So tell me, as the father of four fine young men and women, couldn't you have grown as a human being just as much if instead you'd have taken 4 long vacations?
Yeah, I think every mother who watches this episode will say, oh, yeah, that's what it felt like when I was on maternity leave. It felt like me time. If anything,
that's right.
It felt like you couldn't get a second of me time. I think anybody who wants maternity leave, we should have to give them some incredibly needy creature that's constantly grabbing at them and biting at them and clawing at them and soiling itself. Make them take care of a Democrat for 6 weeks.
There you go.
I was going to go with Michael Moore.
This is an absurdity. And of course, wouldn't we all like to take a little time away? But I don't know about you, but for those of us who actually love what we do, I find it very difficult. I find it very difficult to get away and just focus on myself because A, I'm not that interesting, and B, I'd much rather be doing something that's engaged and involved and connected with other people. I'd much rather be working. I really think, in a sense, people sometimes confuse. They think God punished us with work after we were cast out of the garden. That's not true. What God said was your work is going to be difficult and frustrating, and you'll never get what you want out of it after the garden. But in the garden, in paradise, we had work. And I think that's the natural state of humanity. People like to work. A mother works harder than anybody else. And somebody who just goes home to take selfies, not so much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Scott, talk about me time. When I was single, I had no kids. I once drove back to St. Louis. It's a 12-hour drive from here each way, just because I was craving the fettuccine Alfredo at Canetto's. And so I literally did a one-night trip, 24 hours of driving for the fettuccine. And nowadays, you know what the logistical planning is involved in just taking the kids to see a movie over summer vacation? It's orders of magnitude higher. All right. Foy got such a positive reaction of being the woman who put the me in maternity that she chickened out and didn't show for a scheduled appearance on Good Morning America to promote her book. GMA host Amy Roche even said, and this was live on the air, she said, it's the opposite of me-ternity leave. You're giving yourself to another person. Like, that is what you're doing. I feel her pain. Bill, how in the world did Foy write an entire novel on this without figuring out that one little important point?
It's amazing how much trouble people go to when they're trying to get out of working. It's absolutely amazing how much effort you can put into not working. I know, having done jobs that I didn't particularly like, there's nothing worse than trying to look like you're busy. That is, in fact, the toughest work there is. And just to quickly reiterate what Scott said, I haven't been to work in 10 years now.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, this seems to be pretty transparently it, right? I mean, this is just yet another appeal for a 6-week paid vacation that applies to everybody. And the fact that men might be entitled to it, although not as much. I mean, what is that really? It really kind of, to me, it tells you all you need to know, right? It's like we're going to put this underneath the fig leaf of maternity leave. Look, it's pretty simple, Steve. Here's a slacker that wants 6 weeks of paid vacation, and she's going to use the fig leaf of maternity leave as a lever to get society to pay her for time to goof off. And we know how this works. This is the same thing with the with the transgendered bathroom thing. You take an incredibly small and very selfish aspect, because look, most transgender people can walk into ladies' bathroom, nobody even knows the difference, right? So this is an extremely small microscopic part of the population that's raising a stink because it wants something politically. And this is what she's doing. She's appealing to everybody's sense of, hey, I'd like to have 6 additional weeks, by the way, 6 additional weeks of maternity leave. And so she has to say that men can't get as much, but she can't say they can't get none either, because if she says that they can't get any, then it's kind of sexist. But if she says that men shouldn't get as much maternity leave as women, she's kind of dealing with that fig leaf again, like this is for women because this is what we need when we have our baby. And just, you guys have both said it, the idea that once your first 6 weeks after a baby is born is a time for quiet reflection, for you to simply sleep all day and all night and maybe catch up on your Chaucer, and no, everybody knows is ridiculous. Just call it what it is. She's a lazy person, wants to get paid to take days off.
Hey, Steve, can I throw
yeah,
something else?
Yeah.
After you presented this to us during our conference call this week, in our production call, I found a story accidentally that in Great Britain, and now they're pressing for this elsewhere, there are people who want what they call pawternity leave. And pawternity leave is, guess what?
For your dog?
For your dog.
Oh, no.
Sure.
Oh,
It's a human right, Scott. It's a human right. It's a human right. And
it's a canine right as well.
Who are you to deprive people of their human right to take 6 paid weeks off so they can be with their dog?
Lord, you guys were so close, Scott. You hinted at this part, but the idea of taking a sabbatical to help you relax, refocus, maybe reappraise your life. There's nothing radical about that. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, if you can get your boss to agree to it and your nest egg won't take too big a hit, I say go for it. But that's not what has everybody up in arms, even if they aren't quite aware of what bugs them so much about me-ternity. And Bill, you hinted at this with the fig leaf, but that doesn't quite cover it, so to speak. Because what Foy wants, and my lovely bride saw right through this immediately, what she wants is the moral equivalence of motherhood. She wants the personal growth, the enduring sense of responsibility. Yeah, she wants the respect of family and friends that you get from being a responsible parent, but without the bother of actually becoming a mom. She wants the ultimate unearned wealth. Now, this country has sunk pretty deep into the morass of socialism, but thank goodness we haven't sunk that far. For Bill and Scott, I'm Steve Green. Thanks for being a part of Right Angle. We'll see you next time.
If your wife's so smart, why don't you put her in charge, man?
She is in charge.